Wow. We could have lost it all. Something nearly tragic happened. I was sitting up in our spare bedroom working at my job remotely, and we heard frantic pounding at the door. And it was my mom asking what in the world was going on outside. I saw Eric take off running with a rake. I thought maybe there was a hawk after the birds or something. Who knows? Something's always happening here. I looked out the window, and all I could see all around the house was fire. Fire everywhere. Fire just burning all over the ground. Burning. Didn't have a clue what was happening. Ran downstairs, ran out the door to find probably 1.5 acres or 2 acres basically engulfed in flames. Now, guys, this is Michigan. Fire, especially wildfire, is not something that's on our minds all the time here. It's really not. In fact, we live in a lowland kind of swampy area. It's normally sopping wet this time of year. Fire is not something that I think about unless it's, possible chimney fire during the winter. That's a different story. Let me show you what happened yesterday. Eric had burned a cardboard box. He watched it go out. Was not a terribly big fire, not a terribly windy day. Somehow, an ember, something happened and just caught the entire yard. Feet from our propane tank. You can see kind of where it stopped over there. We don't own super far that way, so at least it stayed there. It burned all the way across this pasture here. This is electric fencing. You can see it melted totally in half. That's what used to be the fencing, that white stuff. You can see all the animal holes, the grass is gone. It went all the way back up our compost pile. Gonna have to fix that fencing. What a shame. Our willow stump here, which is where we previously harvested chicken of the woods, or that was all on fire. I don't know if those will come back or not. The underside of all this deadfall is charred. I'll take you just kind of the edge of it here. Now the front side of this was sort of the edge of the fire, so it did not come over this way. And look where the barn is, guys. I mean, had we not noticed for another 10 minutes, we'd have lost the barn, possibly the house even. Now, Eric was working as hard as he could on that far side of the fire, starting from our propane tank. All of this, guys, all of that was completely on fire. There was all kinds of brush here that caught. Now this is where I came out. It had gotten about this far. I was able to put out this section here, the edge of it at least. It didn't jump the berm, but here's the other edge of it here. Now, where we lost control is when it started hitting the brush pile here. And it goes way back in there. I'm not gonna climb through all the twigs, but there was a part, I believe it was right in here somewhere, where I got hung up. I was desperately trying to put it out. I got caught in all this stuff and I got surrounded by flames. My ankles are burned. Nothing, nothing that needs medical attention or anything like that. But it was scary. I'm normally pretty good in emergencies. Tornadoes, injured animals, things like that. But this one caught me off guard. The fear is almost paralyzing. Now, right where I got trapped, right in here, that's when I realized if it gets to that brush wall back here, we're done. We're gonna lose it. So we had no choice but to call the fire department. Not something I've ever done before, and not something I ever want to have to do again. But we had no choice. We had to contain it to our property. It wasn't fun. It was, number one, it was embarrassing, but it was a big wake-up call. It just kind of drives home the importance of, paying attention to what you're doing when it's dry like this. I mean, it hasn't rained a whole lot. What a freak thing, guys. In my mind, I was thinking to myself, how am I gonna get, valuables out of the house? How am I gonna get these animals evacuated? That was the important thing. Had the wind shifted the other way, it had gone towards the house. I don't know if the grass would have been enough to stop it or not if the wind had picked up. We got lucky. We really could have lost everything. So we had the fire trucks pull all the way up to here, and they actually got stuck and had to get a tow truck to get the fire trucks out. Oh, that poor fire truck was never getting out. It took those good guys a couple of hours to put out the fire. And this stump here, this fallen willow, actually caught back up about an hour later. And Eric and I were able to handle that. But look at this. It was like a burning pillar of flames. All that's charred. Queen of the mountain right there. Probably getting bugs or some other goodies from that compost. So, needless to say, I didn't sleep very well last night. I spent a lot of time getting up and looking out the windows, making sure that things didn't catch back on fire. It was not a good night. But we're thankful that it didn't go any further. We're thankful that it wasn't worse. We're thankful we didn't lose our home, any of our livestock, any of our belongings, or our lives, honestly. I mean, I really have a new appreciation for those out west that deal with wildfires. I'll never look at things the same way again. And I'm sorry it happened, but in a way, I'm glad it happened. Wakes your butt up to what can happen if you're being lax and you're not paying attention. We're now more motivated than ever to clear out the deadfall, scrub brush, the leaves, everything like that from our property. It was on the agenda anyway. Our little baby goats are gonna help with that. But I mean, we had wanted to open it up for more pasture, more orchard space, more garden space, and leave, you know, a healthy woodland where we could. But this is like the kick in the pants for that, truly. So that's our cautionary tale right there. Clean up your deadfall. Watch your bonfires. Put it out. Put it out with water when you're done. Don't burn on a windy day. It's starting to rain. Don't burn in dry weather. I've never been so happy that it's raining. And check your smoke detectors too. That's important. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully it'll be a happier one.